Unit 1. Today we're going to focus and go back to our lesson last time because you are not able to understand it well, so that today we are going to do it again. Unit 1 focuses on that's my kind of friend, and you are going to learn also when to use relative pronouns as the subject of a clause and relative pronoun as the object of a clause. When we talk about relative pronouns, these are who or that is, these are used for people or persons. Moving on, let's have this structure. What kind of blank do you want to have? You have here brother, and you also have here mother. Now in this case, we are going to use the structure, what kind of, for example, brother do you want to have? Or what kind of mother do you want to have? And then you're going to use some adjectives to describe them. It could be, you're going to use the words such as active, such as smart or cool. For example, I want to have a brother who is cool. So there's one. Let's try to write a sentence. For example, cool. And then we want to use also what kind of mother do you want to have. You can also say, I want to have a mother who is cool and who is kind or who is smart. Next, we also have another one, football coach. You can also repeat after me, football coach. The next one is playmate, and the other one is friend. And how to use them in a sentence or a structure. So let's have this kind of sentence structure. For example, the coach here is serious. You have here the adjective serious. You can say, I prefer a football coach is one who is, for example, serious. One more time, what kind of football coach do you prefer? You can answer by saying, I prefer a football coach who is serious. Another one, you can also try to use another noun using the word playmate. You can also say, I prefer a playmate who is, for example, funny. Who is funny. So we use the adjective funny. One more time. What kind of playmate do you prefer? You can say, I prefer a playmate who is funny. One more, then the other example, we have here the word friend. This friend, as you take a look at the picture, they are very happy and they are very close to each other. So we can use the adjective supportive, for example. So let's write the word supportive here. Supportive friend, or a supportive friend. So how will you answer if the question is, what kind of friend do you prefer? You will answer, I prefer a friend who is supportive. So that's how you're going to answer it. Now moving on to our another examples, we have this one. What kind of person are you? In this kind of topic, you're going to know yourself well. You're going to know other persons' personalities well. So let's try to make a guess for pictures here. So we have here picture 1. Last time you already learned this one, but you need to go back and review. Picture 1 talks about being generous. This one is generous. You can repeat after me, generous. And then the other one, picture 2, this is hard working. hardworking. And then picture three, this is kind, kind. And then picture 4, this one is funny. That's funny. Picture 5, this one is serious. Picture 6, shy. Picture 7, smart. As you can see, this is a teacher teaching the students or teaching in the classroom. The other one is, you have here, talented. And the last one you have here, talkative. So these are the different personalities of a person that you need to learn. For example, generous, hardworking, kind, funny, serious, shy, smart, talented, and talkative. This time, we are going to learn the meanings of these vocabulary words in English. Okay, let's try to move to another slide. You have here the meanings. You have generous. The meaning of generous is give something to the needy. And you also have hardworking, put a lot of effort into work. So you have here. You also have here kind. It means help others. You also have here funny. That means tell jokes. This time we're going to use these vocabulary words here, the generous, hardworking, kind, and funny, on the first sentence. And on the second sentence, this is our first sentence. This one is our second sentence. And take note of the relative pronouns who and that. Who and that are used for people. And this type of grammar focus, we are going to look for the relative pronoun as the subject of a clause. Sentence number 1. I like friends who or that are funny. What is our subject here? Our subject here is friends. Very good. Friends is plural. Therefore, we use are. Friends are. I like friends who are, or I like friends that are funny. So we use the first vocabulary word, which is in number 4. This time, let's try to combine into a sentence using the meaning of funny, which is tell jokes. The same structure, I like friends who or that are. So in sentence number 2, we have here, I like friends who tell jokes, or I like friends that tell jokes. Same structure, but the only difference is that on the first sentence, we use the vocabulary word, which is funny, and on the second sentence, we use the meaning of funny, which is tell jokes. This time, I want you to practice using the vocabulary words 1, 2, and 3 in a sentence using who or that as our relative pronoun. And you can use the words football coach, playmate, friend, teacher, brother, or mother. But take note, in this sentence we're going to use those words in plural. For example, I like mothers who are kind. So we have here the subject, mothers, and we also have here the relative pronoun who. And we use are because mothers is plural. And we use the vocabulary word number 3, which is kind. Now let's try to have another example using the meaning of kind, which is help others. Same structure, same sentence. I like mothers that. This time we'll use that because that is also used for people, describing people. That help others. Notice on the first sentence we use the vocabulary word kind, and here in the second sentence we we use the vocabulary word or the meaning of the word kind, which is help others. We have here the same pattern, mothers as the subject. We use that as our relative pronoun, and we use help others as our determiner for the mothers. Okay, now this time, let's try to move to another slide. You have here serious, shy. We also have here smart. This one. Number 7 is smart. Number 8 is talented, and number 9 is talkative. Now the letters A, B, C, D, and E are the meanings of each word on the left side. So the meaning of serious here is study always and don't play. The meaning of shy is don't want to talk with other people. The meaning of smart is read a lot of books. And the meaning of talented is play piano, play football, play soccer, or play any musical instruments. And lastly, talkative. The meaning of talkative here is talk on the phone a lot or talk in the class a lot. This time, you notice that we have here the verb study, and we also have here don't. We also have here read, play, and talk. In the next sample sentences, we will be using them into another form of verb, which is in the present simple tense. A while ago, we focused on the relative pronoun as the subject of a clause, meaning we are looking for who or what is the person being talking about or is talking about. The first sentence here is, I prefer someone who or that is talented. So what is our object in the sentence? Okay, good. The object in the sentence is someone. And then, take note, we use the verb is. Why is it that we use is, not are, not has? Take note, someone is an indefinite pronoun. All indefinite pronouns such as somebody, anyone, anybody, someone, these are always followed by a singular verb which is, not are. That's why the sentence here, I prefer someone who or that is talented, is used. Now, notice that we also use the word talented in the first sentence, same structure a while ago. And in the second sentence, we use the meaning of talented, which is play piano or plays piano. Number 2, I prefer someone who or that plays piano. The same object, someone, the same relative pronouns, who or that. But what happens now to the word play here? Okay, good. We add s because of the word someone. Someone is always followed by singular verb. Now let's have another example. I'd prefer someone who is, let's use the word smart. Smart. Very good. So this is our object. This is our relative pronoun. We use is because someone is always followed by a singular verb. And we use the first vocab, which is smart. This time, let's try to use the meaning of smart in a sentence. So it goes like this. I prefer someone. This time we'll use that. That or that. Take note, we used the vocab a while ago. So this time we're going to use the meaning of smart, which is read a lot of books. So what will happen to the word read? Is it read or reads? Okay, we are going to add s, that reads a lot of books. Good. So the sentence will be, I prefer someone that reads a lot of books. We add s because of our indefinite pronoun, which is someone. Now, let's try to have another example. Using the word talkative. You can also say, I would not prefer if it's a negative statement or negative sentence. If you don't like someone who has a personality of being serious, being shy, or being talkative. Now this time, we can also use into a negative form, such as, I would not or I wouldn't prefer someone who is serious. Take note, we use the negative form of the model, which is wouldn't. I wouldn't prefer someone who is serious. You can also say, I would prefer or I'd prefer someone who is serious. Or you can also say, I wouldn't prefer someone who is serious. This time, let's try to use another one. The meaning of serious, which is study always and don't play. Let's try to use it in a sentence. So you can say, I would prefer, this one is positive, someone that, now this time take note, someone is always followed by a singular verb. So the word study here will become, very good, it will become study. So we're going to drop Y, change it into I and add ES. And don't will become, since don't is plural, we're going to change it into singular. Don't will become doesn't. So the verbs there study become studies, and the verb don't there becomes doesn't. So I would prefer someone that studies always and doesn't play. Very good. So you have here studies, doesn't. It's already balanced. Always remember the subject-verb agreement. Moving on to our next vocabulary words or set of vocabulary words here. We also have here talented. So you can also say, I'd prefer someone who is talented. Same, this is our object of the clause, someone. This is our relative pronoun, who. This is our verb, which refers to someone, which is always is. And this is our vocabulary word, which is talented. Now this time, let's try to use the meaning of talented in a sentence, same structure, using I prefer someone. But this time we're going to use that instead of who. I prefer someone that plays piano, for example. Okay, good. So this is our object of the clause, relative pronoun. This is the verb that agrees with someone. It is always singular, and this is our meaning, the meaning of the word talented. Now, moving on to another set of examples or topic. Let's have this one. Another structure. I'd like to have a blank who or that blank. The same structure. So you notice you have two pictures here. This talks about partner. Partner could be your boyfriend or girlfriend or your best friend or friend. And this one is teacher. You have your teacher. So you're going to describe, and by filling in the structure at the top, inside the box at the top, this one and this one. So let's use the first verb, which is partner. I like to have a partner here. Who, for example, partner is singular, so we're going to use is. Who is, for example, cool. Okay. How about you? What kind of partner would you like to have? I gave my example already. I'd like to have a partner who is cool, or I'd like to have a partner that is cool. You can use either of the two relative pronouns. It could be who or that. And it is always followed by is because we're talking about partner, and partner is only one. Next one is, aside from using I'd like to have, you can also use another verb such as enjoy. I enjoy a teacher who is smart, for example. So we're going to use the vocabulary words that we learned a while ago. Now, let's try to have another example. There's one. We have here the verbs prefer, don't want to have, don't like to have. Remember, we used many verbs already. Don't like to have, don't want to have, prefer, and like. This time, look at picture number 3. This is a picture of your playmate in ROV or playing ROV or playing Mobile Legend or any video games. This one is a mother, your mother, our mother, and this one is, of course, classmate. That's your classmate. And take a look at the behavior. Picture number 4, the mother is angry. And picture number 5, someone bullies another student in the school. So this is a form of bullying, and it's a big no-no in our school. You know that. Let's go back. You have here the pattern or the expression, I prefer a blank, who or that blank. This time, let's try to describe the playmate. You want to have a playmate who is funny, for example. This one, you don't want to have a mother who is, or for example, I don't want to have a mother who is, example, strict or angry or gets angry all the time. And the other one, I don't like to have a classmate who bullies. This one is a bully. Okay, let's go back to our first picture, which is playmate. I prefer a playmate. So you're going to write here, playmate, who is funny, for example. So that's how to fill in the word playmate and the word funny. For picture number 4, you have here, I don't want to have a mother. Let's put mother here, who is strict, for example. Take a look at the picture. That is the meaning of strict, meaning your mother doesn't want you to go somewhere. Your mother doesn't want you to play too much ROV or too much playing of Mobile Legends, and you are not studying your lessons anymore. That's why your mother acts this way. Now let's have the last picture, your classmate, and his attitude is a bully. So how to make that into a sentence form? I don't like to have a classmate who bullies anyone. You can also say, I don't like to have a classmate. So these are the samples of how you are going to describe your friend or someone using different types of personalities like funny, strict, bully, smart, kind, etc. Moving on, let's have another set of examples. This one. In this activity, you're going to write something about your ideal parent, your ideal partner, or ideal friend. You're now going to writing. Since a while ago you're done with your speaking skill, this time let's test your writing skill. So in this case, you're going to talk about what is the ideal parent, friend, or partner like, and what is one quality each should have, and one quality each should not have. You're going to complete the chart below. Now let's take a look at the chart. Here you have one, two, three types of persons. And you also have two indicators at the top. You have here, this person is, and the other one is, this person is not. And on the left side, sentence 1 or phrase 1, you have the ideal parent. Parent could be your mother, father, or your grandmother, grandfather, uncle, or your aunt if you don't have, or if your mothers or your father are not present or not at home. You can also treat your uncles, your aunt, your grandmother, your grandfather as your second parents, and your teachers also. And you also have here the ideal friend, your best friend, or your plain friend only. And the last one is your ideal partner. So what you're going to do is, in your notebook, please copy the title, which is Ideal People, and write at the top, Unit 1, that's my kind of friend. And below Unit 1, you're going to copy this one, Ideal People. And then, please copy this box in your notebook. Same structure, this person is, this person is not. Here, you're going to write the positive personalities. And here, you're going to write the negative personalities. Okay, for example, number 1, the ideal parent that you want to have. Notice that we're going to use this structure and this vocabulary word, any vocabulary words that you learned a while ago, like generous, kind, smart, talented, and many others. So, that's right. Here, on the first line, you're going to write there the ideal parent that you want to have. This person is. You already have the first statement here, incomplete statement. So what you're going to do is to add the word someone here. Because this person is someone who is, for example, this one, generous. Okay, like that. This person is someone who is generous. And let's take a look at the negative personality that this person has. Okay, or your parent has. Now, this person is not hard working. For example, it's up to you. You can also say, this person is not generous, this person is not kind, this person is not smart, this person is not funny, this person is not shy, or this person is not talented. Okay, now let's try to use another type of person, which is your ideal friend. Remember, you're going to use someone as your indefinite pronoun. The ideal friend, this person is someone who is, for example, funny. Okay, so this is our positive personality. Now let's go to the negative personality. You have here, for example, serious. This person is not serious. So you have the opposite personalities of anybody here. First is generous, and then not hardworking. You have here funny in the second sentence, but the negative personality is that this person is not serious. Another one is your ideal partner. You have here the ideal partner. This person is someone who is, for example, talented. So you're going to write here, talented. However, you need to put the negative personality. So this person is not, for example, kind. So you're going to write here, kind. Okay? Remember, don't forget to write this in your notebook, in your pink notebook. You're going to have 6 points for this writing activity. Another example is the ideal playmate. Playmate when you play video games, football, basketball, badminton, or any type of sport or video sports game. So you also need to write a positive and a negative personality of your playmate. For example, the ideal playmate. So this person is, for example, smart. So you're going to write here, this person is someone who is smart. So you have here someone, you have your is as your verb, and you also have your smart as the vocabulary word that describes your playmate. However, you need to write also his or her negative personality. So let's try to choose. For example, shy. You write here the word shy. So these are the things that you need to remember when you write or create sentences about your ideal people. Your parent, your friend, your partner, or your playmate. And always remember, don't forget to use the indefinite pronoun someone, then the relative pronoun who, and the verb is. We use is because of someone. And we use these vocabulary words that we used a while ago. These vocabulary words describe the people on the left side, your parent, your friend, your partner, or your playmate. And on this side, on the right column, we also have here the negative personalities of your parent, your friend, your partner, or this person is not serious, this person is not kind, and this person is not shy. Now, let's try to have another set of listening activities. The ideal people, the three types of ideal people here, your ideal parent, your ideal friend, your ideal partner. And don't forget to use someone who plus is and then the vocabulary word. Moving on, let's have the last type of activity. We are done with the reading, we're done with the writing and sort of speaking activities. This time, let's have the listening test. I am going to read or say the lines of the two dialogues here. On the first dialogue, as you noticed, there are two people talking or describing different personalities. We have here Susan and John. Now, you're going to choose your answers below, here in the white box. Inside the white box, you have here the word hair, in her 30s, look like. So, let's try to do this. On the second part or below your notebook, please write numbers 1, 2, and 3. And please don't forget to write this title, listening test. Below the word listening test, please write the word dialogue 1. Okay? And then please write numbers 1, 2, and 3 in your notebook. So you have here, what does your boss look like, John? Again, what does your boss look like, John? Number 2. She has dark hair and wears glasses. She has dark hair and wears glasses. How old is she? She is in her 30s, I think. One more time. Let's go back to dialogue 1 for the listening test. What does your boss look like, John? What does your boss look like, John? She's in her 30s, I think. Please write the answers here in numbers 1, 2, and 3. Please notice and take note of the correct spelling of your answers. Okay, good job. I think you're done. Now let's talk about your teacher. In dialogue 1, you have here your boss. Please write your boss in dialogue 1 in close and open parentheses. Now, below dialogue 1, please write dialogue 2. And inside the parentheses, please write your teacher. And then continue the numbering 4, 5, and 6. And you notice the choices are below inside the white box. You have here the word describe. Describe. Glasses. Glasses. And this one is mustache. Mustache. This one is a mustache. This is an example of a mustache. Okay, usually it grows for males, for boys. Now, let's try to have the second dialogue. This is, can you describe your teacher, Tom? Can you describe your teacher, Tom? Well, he has a mustache and a beard. Well, he has a mustache and a beard. Does he wear glasses? Does he wear glasses? No, he doesn't. In fact, he sees everything. Please write your answers here in numbers 4, 5, and 6. And these are your choices. I think it's easier this time for the listening test. Okay, now let's try to go back and try to have a recap of what you learned today. Tomorrow or in the next meeting, next week, I will collect your output for these activities, for the writing activity as well as the listening test. Let's go back. Okay, a while ago you learned how to use these vocabulary words such as generous, hardworking, kind, and funny. And you also learn how to use these meanings by combining them in sentences. Like this example, I like mothers that help others. Or you can also say, I like mothers who are kind. Notice, we have the same structure. I like mothers who or that. I like mothers that. The only difference is that we use vocabulary word in sentence 1 and we use the meaning in sentence 2, the meaning of kind in sentence 2. Same with this structure. Now let's go back to another set of examples. This one. A while ago, you learned how to use these vocabulary words in sentences, and you also learned when to use these meanings in sentences. For example, I'd prefer someone who, is it is or are? Take note, our object of the clause is someone, and we use the relative pronoun who. Therefore, we're going to use is, because we're talking about someone. Someone is always followed by a singular verb, which is, who is, for example, smart. This is our vocabulary words. Let's try to use another structure using I prefer someone that and using the meaning of smart. Smart. I prefer someone that. What's the meaning of smart? Here we have read a lot of this. Take note. If the pronoun is followed by a main verb or action word, you have to add s to the main verb because someone is always followed by a singular verb. Since we have here read a lot of books, we're going to use reads. We are going to add s. A lot of books. So easy. Now, again, Same structure in sentence 1 and same structure in sentence 2. I prefer someone who is not, or I prefer someone that reads a lot of books. Same structure. Another example. Let's try to use somebody. I prefer somebody. Take note, somebody is also an indefinite pronoun, therefore it is always followed by a singular verb. Let's use who as the relative pronoun. I prefer somebody who is, take note, is, agrees with the word somebody, which is our object of a clause, who is talkative. So this is our vocabulary word. Or you can also say, this is sentence 1, sentence 2, I prefer somebody that, take note, we use talkative here, therefore we are going to use the meaning of talkative in the second sentence, which is talk on the phone a lot. But somebody is an indefinite pronoun, so we have to use the singular verb, which is, or add s. That talks on the phone a lot. I hope you learned and you understood well when to use these types of structure when you are using relative pronoun as the object of a clause, like the examples that I gave to you. Let's try to have a quick review of some of the words that you learned a while ago. These words, this type of personalities, I think you can guess and remember already. So these are the types of personalities that will describe what kind of person are you. Picture 1, a while ago we described the working. And we describe these people also, or this woman wearing yellow suit, as kind, and this one funny, and this one serious, shy, smart. This one is talented, and the other one talkative. Repeat after me. Generous, generous. This one is hardworking, hardworking. Kind, kind. Smart, talented. We have here serious, shy, and talkative. So these are the types of personalities or different personalities that you need to remember when you describe anybody or someone inside the classroom or at home or in the public places. Now let's try to go back to the first one. This type of words, you have here the football coach, you also have here playmate, and you also have here friend. And you have the structure, what kind of blank do you prefer? For example, what kind of football coach do you prefer? How to answer it? You can say, I prefer a football coach, this one, who is, for example, serious. Remember, we have the vocabulary words a while ago, the 9 vocabulary words. You have to use them when you describe these people. You can also say, what kind of playmate do you prefer? And you can answer, I prefer a playmate who is funny, for example. Or you can also say, what kind of friend do you prefer? You will answer, I prefer a friend who is, for example, cool. Okay, now let's move to the other set of photos. You have here brother and mother. Brother, mother. The question is, what kind of, for example, brother do you want to have? Or what kind of mother do you want to have? You can say, I want to have a brother who is smart. Or you can also say, I want to have a mother that is kind, loving, caring. Okay, so these are ways on how you're going to describe, or another ways on how you're going to describe your brother, your mother, your father, grandmother, grandfather, or anybody at home, in a public place, in the school, or any relatives that you have. So I hope that you learn how to use these types of personalities when you describe someone. It might be in a room or inside the classroom, at home, or in any public places. And we also have this one. A while ago, we focused on Unit 1, that's my kind of friend, and we describe different personalities of a friend or someone or any members of the family. And you learn how to use relative pronouns as the subject of a clause. Remember, when we talk about clause, there's one. Clause has a subject, verb, and object. It always gives a complete sentence. And a complete sentence has, of course, a meaningful meaning, or a meaningful structure in the meaning of the sentence. For example, she plays piano. This is an example of a clause. She is our subject, plays is our verb, piano is our object or direct object. So thank you so much and see you next week. I hope that you learn how to use relative pronouns as the subject of a clause and as the object of a clause. And please don't forget to bring or send your writing activity and your listening test activity in your notebook. This part. This one. This is your writing, number 1. This is your writing. This will serve as your writing number 1, which is ideal people. And the other side, you also have the listening test, this part. This will be your listening number. See you next week, guys. And thank you so much for learning today and joining with me today. I hope you learned something. And I hope that you will use these vocabulary words in your daily conversations with your friends or any members in the family. Bye-bye.